It was a Sunday, and a San Francisco phone call served the Wilsons noticed. The 1949 Cadillac Fleetwood would soon be arriving with Gary's Aunt Lauretta, Uncle Dino, and their array of the pilferers of plunder. Dino Tognazzi seldom traveled without an entourage, composed of a group representing the menagerie of patrons from his Van Ness Avenue drinking establishment, Dino's Number 13 Club in San Francisco. Uncle Dino not only provided the food, but his group sometimes glistened with enlightened entertainment too. Dino was an excellent chef, preferring to import his own cuisine when visiting. The San Francisco cartel would always provide a pasta appropriation. But that's not what delighted Gary and his sisters. It was the imported soiree of luncheon meats, the array of cheeses, and the ciabatta, baguette, including Pinel breads. To the young family who dwelled on tuna fish and peanut butter sandwiches for their school sack lunches, this was a gourmet experience. It could be said, as was the quality, so was the quantity. Upon the group's departure, a host of remnants remained for lunches channeling into the next week. Gary's mother was dismayed the first few times the guest arrived, having performed the hostess duty of preparing a large Sunday afternoon meal as was the tradition in the Wilson household, only to have it displaced by the culinary celebration arriving from across the bay. Gary, having been privy to his parents' discussions concerning Dino's financial stability, aware that Dino owned a house on Steiner Street, a villa in Montecatini, Italy, San Francisco Investments Properties, and was acquaintances with the iconic San Francisco Alioto family. The teenager always pictured his uncle as a Chicago underworld figure moved west. Although he was from Detroit, mainly because of his Italian appearance, broken English, and the association with the Aliotos, who have Sicilian ancestry. But to a teenager, it was more like fantasy speculation. In addition to his Aunt Lauretta, Dino's entourage includes two of the regulars, Chief, a retired naval petty officer, whose appearance and size made him suspect as a bouncer, but was very congenial when visiting. Chief would often visit a friend at Oak Knoll Naval Hospital, a quarter-mile foray during his stay. The other regular being Dave McCurdy, a pleasant-looking person, who sometimes tended bar, but also accepted most of the business operating responsibility. Another returning visitor was Jimmy, an over-the-hill vaudeville performer from a bygone era. Jimmy was a slight person, his specialty was tap. Only most often he was without his dancing shoes, having deposited them at the brokerage firm that exchanged money for merchandise, better known as a pawn shop. Gary, having witnessed Jimmy's performance at his uncle's establishment to the delight of those in attendance, hoofing to supply his need for liquid beverage. The last person of the festive group was a bosom, rather large blonde-haired middle-aged lady with ruby red lipstick and pancake makeup. Gary, making the observation, her appearance was similar to many of the ladies frequenting the saloons in Western movies, but he adjudged she wasn't a movie star, not venturing to question what she did for a living. The assembly never stayed long, and their presence presented the teen a perspective that abounded in futurity, concluding, to Uncle Dino and the visitors, their Sunday afternoon was an escape from the binding engagement of their profession, that times included catering to a communal dissident order who frequented the Bowery of San Francisco's Van Ness Avenue. Gary, surmising that everyone needs a breath of fresh air,